Good morning, this is Jerry Zremski coming to you again from the Buffalo News Washington Bureau. I'm here with my weekly summary of what's going on in the nation's capital this week, and I have to tell you at the start that for me, this week's going to be a little bit different from most. That's because I'm heading to Buffalo later in the week. I'll tell you why in a moment or two, but let me begin by talking about a story that I hope to finish up today or tomorrow. It's a very interesting piece I've been working on with Lou Michel from our Buffalo office, and it's about the fact that people who are seeking political asylum in either Canada or the United States are spending an awful lot more time these days in Buffalo waiting for their claims to be processed. This is because of changes in policies on both sides of the border that are going to be changing again this summer. It's a very interesting, very human piece that'll be in the paper sometime in the next couple of weeks, and I hope you'll keep your eyes out for it. It's actually going to be a very good read. Beyond that, tomorrow I'm going to be meeting with the families of Continental 3407 who are back in D.C. once again, this time to meet with the new Federal Aviation Administration administrator and to talk about aviation safety policies here 3 years after that tragic crash in Clarence. Those are the stories that I know for sure that I'm doing, and there are other things I'm keeping a very close eye on. I've talked in the last couple of weeks about congressional redistricting. It turns out I haven't gotten the time to do the story I've discussed, but events may beat me to it. It's seeming that we may have a redistricting plan for our local congresspeople sometime in the next week or two. And what that would mean is that two of the congressional seats in New York State would be eliminated because of changes in population over the past 10 years. This obviously has huge impacts. Western New York could lose a district, downstate could lose a district, and it could put our incumbent members of Congress in some difficulty, but we just don't know yet. We'll just have to see what that plan is as it's proposed by the state legislature, so I'll be keeping an eye out for that. I'm also going to be keeping a close eye on what's going on with the Niagara Falls Air Reserve Station. As you may know, I've been writing about some changes in Air Force policy, some budget cuts, and the impact that that could indeed have in Niagara Falls. And I'm expecting more developments in that story either this week or next, so I'll be watching out for that. Then, on Thursday morning, as I mentioned, I'm heading to Buffalo, and I'm going to be spending my first 2 days there doing video training, which I'm sure is a relief to all of you who've been watching my videos in recent weeks. Actually, in all seriousness, what I'm going to be doing is getting an actual video camera that will allow me to go up to Capitol Hill and do brief video interviews with our members of Congress and to do other more interesting creative videos than these ones that you see on Monday morning, which feature me sitting here at my desk. So that's Thursday and Friday in the newsroom in Buffalo, and then on Sunday I'm going to be covering the 3rd anniversary of the crash of Flight 3407. As you may know, I've been covering this story very, very closely for 3 years now because of the involvement that these families have had in Washington and the legislation that they've actually gotten passed in Washington. So I've gone back to Buffalo every year to cover the anniversary of the crash, and I'm doing that again. And then early Monday morning, 6:40 a.m., I'm going to be on a flight back here to D.C. so that I can cover President Obama's fiscal 13 budget release next Monday morning. So it's going to be a very busy week for me, a very busy weekend, and I'll be writing lots of stories, I'm sure, and I'm hoping you'll be reading them. I'll be talking to you again next Monday morning. Thank you much.